Yay! How you doing? Back at it. We just want to give you a quick update. We didn't film much over the weekend because we were doing training at a different facility. We did drop-ins over the weekend because we're not going back to Stellenbosch on a Sunday, so we couldn't film yesterday or today. So we're doing this type of video just to let you know where we're at. So today was our first day on the 6 weeks till we go to Barcelona.
So day 42.
Yeah, 42 days until we depart. And today was day one. We kicked off with 45 minutes cardio this morning on empty stomach, fasted cardio. And then 6 hours later, about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we did leg session while we have enough energy or lots of energy. We climb in, we do legs. It was quite a hectic session. And then 15 minutes cardio after that. So we have an hour of cardio, 45 in the morning, and then 15 after our actual weight training session. And that's going to happen for this week. And then next week, it goes from 45 to 50 in the morning and from 15 to 20 after the weight training session. And so we will build until we achieve 75 minutes on empty in the morning. And that's where I draw the line. And 25 minutes after the weight training session, and that's where I'm going to draw the line. So then we have 75, 25, that's 100 minutes of cardio a day, plus the weight training session, and then we'll probably do some, say, 25, maybe 30 minutes of posing every night to get fit and get used to that.
And then as far as the nutrition is concerned, you hear about us talking about our routines, set times, set meals, set foods all the time. So just to break into the 6 weeks and to finalize our last 2 weeks since our last competition, yesterday was a free for all. So we eat the same types of foods, but we don't regulate it in terms of quantities, and we add different things like a lot of dates, cocoa powder, that sort of thing, just to make it different.
Nut butter.
Nut butters in terms of the rice. We make a chocolate rice pudding, which is really delicious, and eat as much as you want when you want. So there's a complete break in the central nervous system in regulation, even though the food is very tight, it's completely different. And that creates a whole different aura. It just provides a heap of energy from this mind into the body. And that's why leg training was so intense today. We didn't go really heavy, but we did very intense flexion. So the mind to muscle connection was what we drove at. Every single rep is this dig deeper, find your most benefit, find the most potential that you can deliver in that rep. So we're moving away from heaviness a little bit, or we did today, move into the flexion because of yesterday's freedom.
Yeah, look, if as long as we're getting a pump, then it's all good. We're trying to keep the weight, the heaviness of the weight. Obviously, that's how you got the muscle that you currently have. So you can't be cutting weight or reduce the weight that you train with too much, because obviously the muscle is going to go then. So we're trying to train as heavy as possible, but today with all that carbs, it was easy to get a massive pump. So we didn't really have to go that heavy. And this is the second leg session for the week. We double up on everything we do. So the first 4 days, it's an 8-day split. The first 4 days we run through the entire body. So it will be, say, chest and biceps, back, shoulders and triceps, quads and abs, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. So we try and hit the entire body twice a week. So that was the second leg session. So there was really no need to go balls to the wall or crazy. We have done a leg session. We did a proper leg session. That's where all the major compounds were in. So today was more leg extension, leg curls, lunges, just to get to facilitate the pump, leg press. Also the gym that we train in, they have mostly equipment like machines. So it's nice to just go there on a Sunday, do a drop-in session, and just utilize all the machines that they have for legs. Because it's refreshing. We don't train with machines. We train with resistant bands and free weights and stuff like that. So even though it's still a full-on leg session, it's refreshing because we never have or we never use that type of equipment. So it's really nice to do that. just to break away from everything. It's the same if you go to a different gym facility, just to get a different feel, a different vibe, new people, new faces. It just makes you feel better regardless of how fucking tired you are. Just
So
go to
we
a
keep the
different scene.
adventure running. We make it light, we make it bright, we put variation in, even if it's the same thing. The variety in terms of it makes it much easier to adapt to, and makes your session very difficult simply because it's exciting. It's an
Yeah, it's
exciting
shock.
game.
It's nice, it's different. You keep shocking. Because there's only so much. Look, it doesn't matter which way you pull it. There's certain exercises that works for legs, and that's it. You can fucking do all you want. There's only the fundamentals that's actually going to give you the gains or the quality you're looking for. So you try and change the scene, you try and change the environment, but the exercises pretty much, if they work for you, that's what you're going to do. So that's pretty much the staple in all workouts. So we try and change, moving from place to place, try here, try there, different methods, whatever we can do to shock the system and to keep it fresh, to keep it nice. So that's the one thing. Currently, we're starting off with, I'm going to start with 1.5 cups of rice per meal for 6 meals a day. I'm going to have Kate on one because we're already lean, and now it's the 6 weeks coming. We're going to obviously try and get the best conditioning we can, even better than SAs. And yeah, we're already in that conditioning. So now it's slowly starting on a high and then tapering down, because we have to manage energy levels, you have to manage fatigue, overtraining, central nervous system fatigue, adrenaline burnout, because this is now, I think, 26 or 27 weeks that we've been busy. So another, we're going to be way over in the 30 weeks. So most of this year we dieted. I think we started in February and we are in September, mid-September now, and the competition is only in November, the 1st of November till the 6th of November. So pretty much that's the entire year of dieting. So to manage dieting for so long, you have to manage dieting for so long. It's not straightforward. You can't just, okay, fuck all the carbs. There's gonna be a give and take.
Hence the call upon yesterday. And then today we fluctuated slightly. Tomorrow we're back in it again. As Sean said, tomorrow it's tight. The body knows what to expect. I'll also start with breathing tomorrow. Just some time spent on it in order to facilitate the process working forward. Also, not to shock the body. You can hear we're working with the central nervous system. The actual emotional side of this is huge. We don't underestimate it for a second. If your mind is tired, if your emotions are exhausted, you've got central nervous burnout, you're done. Your body just puffs up.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
there's no response. No matter how hard you
Yeah.
diet or how much cardio you do, your body just don't respond. And that's when you start having problems because what are you going to do now? Most people pull more food. If your body's not responding to no food already, what are you going to take away? So we're trying to manage this to the
Then,
best of
yeah.
our ability. Sorry.
We're using a lot of different factors. Some of them are brand new, like the breathing will be brand new for you. And to actually regulate it will be brand new in our system as well. So it's new, it's refreshing, it's something different, very exciting. It's got a lot of information that we're pulling into it in terms of, as we mentioned on Friday, to calm the system down and get a different pH level in the blood and then accelerate our fiber development from there. But also the food, because the food can't remain what it is, we fluctuate with that as well. So if you introduce the breath work, the breathing into the space, and you play with the food the way we are, and you play with the training week by week, it becomes this enormous adventure towards let's go, rather than saying, oh no, 6 weeks, how am I going to do this? Every day is new. Every day is a, a different challenge, something that we haven't done before, but we've done it all before. There's nothing brand new, but it's just a different insight. We're angling it differently, so it works out really well. We're
Yeah.
just drawing you forward.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Tomorrow we start with
We did legs today.
Did legs. So tomorrow's back.
Yeah.
Hey! So back, yeah. Always nice. And it's always nice when legs is done, because that's the worst. It takes the most. So legs is behind us now, and the next time we're doing legs is Wednesday, Thursday. So there's a lot to look forward to until it's going to be really shit again. So tomorrow back, looking forward to that. What else? What else? What else?
Our sleep schedule stays the same. Really early to bed, 9, 10 o'clock. Up at
Yeah, for
2.
you that don't know, we get up at 2:45 every morning so that we can be in the gym by no later than 3:30, and then we do an hour of cardio, and then we find ourselves at 4:30, and then there's enough time to shower and make pretty, and then 5 o'clock the clients walk in because our studio opens at 5. So 5 o'clock the first clients is there. So then intermittent fast must be done. Intermittent fast or cardio must be done.
So I guess you can say we work from the principle of you should become your own hero.
Yes.
We're trying to develop the space of
That is 20.
we've regulated, we've conditioned, and now we can move forward. If you start the day cumbersome and it's tiring and I haven't really got my way, then it's really hard. This is the third member of the team.
Yeah.
Baby girl.
Baby girl. Say hello, baby girl.
Yeah.
No, say hello, baby girl.
She joined us about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
One morning after cardio,
Yeah.
on our way driving home, this little girl was stuck. It's in the middle of winter,
Freezing cold.
and she was stuck on a little piece, like an island, with a lot of water running past her. So the idea was just to pick her up over this water stream so she can be free. And I walked back to the car. She followed, climbed in, and that was 6, 7
This
years
big
ago.
grin on her face.
It's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, now this is our mascot. She is also the studio security at our gym. So yeah, guys, just giving you a update as to now it's going to start. We'll try and do some actual training videos of how we train.
I'll also give you a little bit of insight. We might just drop into one of the breathing sessions, and then you can give a feedback on that, whether you want to see more of that or see how it's done.
Yeah, Kate's also a yoga teacher, so there's some yoga to be done. I need to work on my flexibility. There's a lot of stuff we want to do in the future, like after this competition, to introduce to the channel. We start doing online yoga, not online, but you can follow us when we're doing yoga, because I want to start doing yoga. She's really good at it. So it will be nice to just work on my flexibility, especially the vacuum.
So
Yep.
from our perspective, from my own personal perspective, there's a lot of development in yoga if you have access through the mind into the fibers, which we have trained hard at. We've really focused on that over the last 6, 7, 8 years. So that switch over, the discipline forms part of the discipline as we move into the space, and then you don't injure yourself trying to stretch, because just to stretch, it's not as great as if you're stretching with activation and if you know where you're going and you've built up the mentality of this needs to be done step by step. We can't just dive into the space. We've got to mold it. We chisel the body a little bit, stand back. Okay, where are we? How are we going to do this? So the two disciplines, the yoga discipline in terms of flexibility, mobility, and taking your body into a space that is hard from that perspective, is very well balanced with the resistance training and the way we train resistance training. So the two balance each other beautifully if we can just keep it working like that. But the information you get from resistance training, if you train like we do, is priceless in terms of moving into the flexibility. The flexibility also gives you a completely different dynamic into the body and where to go, how far to take it. You'll often hear people say you need to stretch in order to get the best or deepest resistance. Well, you do. But how are you going to stretch it without creating an injury or tearing too much? So that insight is invaluable in terms of the functioning of the body. And then the two together, you can create balance. And we are looking for balance and symmetry consistently in terms of the body, physically, and then connecting the head, the mind to the body as well, because they work together. So if you can keep the body in a space of neutrality, or take it up into a space of stress, or calm it down at your own decision making abilities, so much more the better, especially in competition. And we're really going to put that to the test now. We're really going to see.
Why yoga? Well, if you're doing weight training, what you're mostly focusing on is contraction. Yeah, you need to lower the weight, you need to use a full range of motion, but mostly it's about contracting and flexing. And what's the opposite of that? Stretching and relaxing. So yoga is pretty much the best way to go. If bodybuilding is the one end, like your complete flex, and you have the opposite to that, a complete relaxation, then yoga would be the opposite of bodybuilding. So that's exactly why we're going to utilize that. I've done it before. Kate has helped me with some of my flexibility, and it does make a massive difference. Even at the previous show that we did, some men came to me and asked me if I did yoga because the way I pose. It looks like I do yoga, or I'm a yoga practitioner in terms of the way I pose and the way I am flexible enough to hit certain poses, which is a not that I focused on that, but now that they've mentioned it, I am willing to dive much deeper into yoga because there is a benefit and it is seen. So that was quite a good feedback.
So the yoga, the discipline of yoga as we see it, provides a particular balance to the body and enables you to do and move into positions, whether you're training with a resistance band, or a weight, or whatever you're training with, it helps you to go there, and then you can apply that on stage much more effectively. This this development that you have is far more fulfilled. Is The dynamic is huge instead of only focusing on one angle. But again, your yoga practitioner or teacher needs to be, or instructor needs to be, somebody that deeply understands where you're going and what the body is about, what makes up the mentality of the body. Instead of just moving into position, it's the same as just picking up a 60K dumbbell. What are you doing? The development into that, the insight into that is what we're after. And I think that reflects more and more and more. You have then the strength, you have the flexibility in order to create the mobility, which is the freedom to move in any space or way you want. Movement is not just physical. Movement is also in emotions, and the ability to talk, to create arguments, to move into a different space, to develop yourself, to create your wisdom. Movement is all of that. You become static if you can't utilize those spaces, and the brain links specifically into parts of the digestive organs and releases what we need in terms of hormones, and we can develop. It's endless. It's like a rainbow. You can just simply keep going. It is gold at the end if you can, and you'll see there are layers and layers and layers of these. It's fascinating the way you can just keep going more and more and more into the space.
So, to cut it, we are about to start. We have started on our 6-week journey, and we are about to really climb into the next 6 weeks. And we would like you to follow along and see how we do it, see how we eat, see how we struggle, see how we succeed. I want to take you along for the ride, even on the trip as we go, show you how this goes, how registration is. There's going to be a lot of athletes, so you can see that. We're going to try and film as much as they allow us in the facilities, because normally they don't allow you, or if you're a professional, you need to get certain licensing, which luckily we're not, so we can use our cell phones. I'm just saying the quality might not be so good, but we're going to try and get you some good footage so you can actually see what it's like to be at the Worlds and to travel and what that's about. And other than that, yeah, now it's just nothing to it but to do it.
So the journey towards the end is highlighted by all these things. We're going to keep you part of it. We're going to show you as we move um, how easy it is, how not easy it is, the pitfalls, and it's great to have company. It really is.
Yeah, come along for the ride.
Yeah.
Sign up to the channel, subscribe. If you're into bodybuilding, if you're into fitness, if you're into shows, if you think about doing it later on in life, check it out. We keep it fairly simple.
Or simply draw it down into a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what we do. We have the competitive side, but even if we don't compete, this is how we live. This is what we do. You're in constant good shape. You feel good. You can apply yourself to anything. If there's something happening, there's a walk, a 15-kilometer walk or hike, and Kate says, "This looks fun. Let's do it." We are in the shape and in the condition to sign up and go, and that's where we want most of our clients, if not all, to be. To be healthy and confident enough in your body to say, fuck it, this looks nice, let's go do it. And then you have the capacity and the ability to do it. That's life. That's how life should be. Not restricted. I can't do this. I don't know how, or I'm too weak. So come along for the ride, subscribe. Yeah, have fun. Come with us. We're gonna have fun. You might as well come along with us and have fun with us. Thank you for subscribing, those of you who have subscribed. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments of what you want to see or what you would like to train, or things that is a weak point for you. Anything that you would like to see. We'll get into more videos about food and stuff like that. The reason why we don't do it, the meals is the same. So if I show you one meal, that's how 6 of them look. There's nothing special about it. I can show you how we prep it. But it's pretty straightforward. That's what dieting is, that makes it so difficult, is the monotonous side of it. It's the same thing over and over. And why do we do it like that? The simple reason is you know exactly how your body reacts on these foods. You know how you feel. You know exactly how you're going to look, how your training is going to go. And if you put something else in that's new, that's not part of this regime, and it does something wrong to the body, you know exactly, you can pinpoint exactly which thing did it. That's why we keep a set routine, set ingredients. So if there's any fluctuation, I know that thing I ate was, I don't normally use that salt or that spice, and that's why I have water retention or I'm bloating or whatever. It's simply to keep the same standard the whole time. That's pretty much it. And then with the same standard, I can reduce easier. So let's say I'm doing 1.5 cups of rice per meal. As soon as I'm seeing, okay, my body is not responding fast enough by losing weight, then I simply, okay, now it's 1.75 or just one. And if one is not working after 5, 6 days, there's no response to my body, less than 1 cup until we get to half a cup for 6 meals, whatever it takes. But you get what I'm saying. It's easier to control and manipulate the body if you have the same type of foods. If you have 10 ingredients with breakfast and you have 15 ingredients with this meal, and this meal is completely different to that one, it's difficult to pinpoint when something goes wrong which one of those it was. Which one of the 15 ingredients that you use for breakfast is now actually causing the problem. So to make life a little easier for yourself, you do the monotonous thing simply because then you know where you stand with the food and how it reacts to your body and how your body reacts to the food. And if it's all good, if it's not broke, then fix it. And so far we've done really well with what we're doing. So there's no need to change it. We play with the amounts, the quantities of it, but the same stuff stays the same stuff.
Like a science experiment.
Yeah.
It's literally that.
And instead of reducing stuff, we just work a little harder. So you keep your food. So instead of reducing my carbohydrates, I will rather do a little more cardio or higher intensity training. So I don't have to reduce my food. So reducing the food is for extremes, and that's last on the roster for things to apply if the body is not responding. You don't want to take your food away because that's what gives you what you are. So as soon as you start pulling food, the body starts reacting in a good or a bad way. So if I pull carbs, I'm going to go flat. If I stay flat long enough, the glycogen stores, muscle, is going to shrink to accommodate the lower range of glycogen that's now present in my body because I reduced the carbs. So you can also not just reduce something and stay there, because then I will lose the size. So it's a give and take. I'll reduce, say, 2 days, and then I'll lift it again to get full again, so that my stores don't shrink, because the body is forever trying to adapt. So if I shrink my stores, it's uncomfortable, it's not having enough energy, it's going to shrink the store so I have enough again. The body is very intelligent that way. So especially this last 6 weeks, and because we've been dieting so long, there's almost going to have to be a consistent checking on is and are we responding. Because if not, you have to change, and you have to change sometimes every day if something needs to be changed, so the body keeps reacting. That's why we don't want to go in extreme just yet, or we haven't gone to extremes. So we always have that in the chamber when it's needed. Otherwise, if you've gone through extremes, what are you going to do now to go that extra mile? How far are you going to have to go to make it extreme now? It's like fucking, there's no more food. I'm pulling your water away now, and you only have half a day of oxygen. So it's not. You have to. You have to understand where you want to go. If you're going to Joburg or you're going to Spain, and it's a 10,000 kilometer trip, you're not going to get there with a 9,000 capacity tank. So you're going to have to do something, either free a little downhill. If that's the only way to get there, you're going to have to plan to make the fuel that you have last for 10,000 kilometers, knowing your tank is only a 9,000 kilometer tank, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, pretty much this next 6 weeks is, like Kate said, a science experiment. It's exciting, it's frightening, it's actually fabulous. Fabulous. So it's yeah, it's we haven't been here yet in this situation, and it's super awesome and exciting to actually be in it and to be part of it, to see how the body's going to react, to take part on a stage that's massive, and athletes from all around the world that's bringing their A game. And we are those A game people from South Africa having to go put our A game against the rest of the world to see whose A game is the better A game. So that's super exciting. And yeah, tomorrow we kick it off. The new week starts. For everybody that's watching, I hope you have a fabulous week. Watch the channel, subscribe to the channel, follow us. We'll try and set you up each day, or each video is to give you something and to explain something that you can take into your workout, into your day. It's not just workouts, it's mindset, it's understanding, it's mindfulness, it's all of it. It's how to survive life with a smile on your face and succeed with the least amount of friction from people around you. Anything else?
Warmth in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it.
Do what makes you happy.
Really, keep it there. And don't worry about what other people say. Just keep rolling. Just
Yeah.
keep your blinkers on and keep moving. It really does work. Much gratitude, really. We really are grateful for this opportunity.
Then I would like to leave a question with you before I go. And the question is, are you in these people's life, or are these people in your life? Are you part of their story, or are they part of your story? And I think you know what's the answer. It's your story. So you write your story the way you want to write your story. Don't give anybody else the pen that's writing your story. All right? All right, people of YouTube land, we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. We love you, and go train. We'll see you in the next one.